Guess what happens tomorrow, guys? Well, another major event that's very actually extremely important for the global economy, the markets, and it will have a big impact, which takes place tomorrow. So this week seems to be explosive, guys, with a lot of these external factors coming into place, such as supposedly there are rumors sprouting about that QT will be ending quite soon, right? If that happens, or when that happens, guys, that's why I still don't believe we have topped out. Okay, because the last time they ended QT and they started printing, the Fed started printing an insane amount, cryptocurrencies ballooned. Right, we've seen all season, we've seen all sorts of seasons occur. Okay, so I still don't believe the top of the market has occurred until everything gets out of control. Probably in the year 2026, though. Then tomorrow, Wednesday, we have the FOMC rate cut, right? The decision on what they're going to do. Right, as of right now, 16 hours to go. 99.9% chance that the Fed will cut by 25 basis points. Okay, so there have been some people mentioning that the Fed will not cut. They're going to hold. If that's the case, guys, that's truly a black swan event, because literally everyone believes they're going to cut, which I believe so too, right? They just have to. Whenever the market believes, like whenever this percentage is above like 80, the Fed follows. Okay, and they're still behind the curve, because I do believe a black swan is brewing. Okay, that will take everything down, probably connecting to a recession. Then the Fed's going to print like trillions soon. We have a U.S.-China trade deal possibly as well. That must come out positive, right? The only reason why markets have dumped recently is because of this narrative, with the U.S.-China trade war. And then on Friday we have S&P 500 earnings, right? That has to come in good as well, guys. So I don't know. People are mentioning that this could be the start of something big brewing. Okay, something enormous. So the most important week of Q4 has arrived. In just a few days, the markets will get clarity on rates, liquidity, earnings, and global trade. Four forces that decide how money moves for the rest of the year. The Fed meets on Wednesday. A 25 basis point rate cut is already priced in. What matters now is what Powell says next. Will this be a one-off adjustment or the start of a deeper easing cycle? The bigger shift could be the end of quantitative tightening. If confirmed, it means the Fed stops draining liquidity, right? Instead of taking liquidity out of the markets, a major points for risk assets. Now they'll inject liquidity, guys, right? They'll start printing so much. So how can anyone be bearish, right? We're not topping out until the USDT, that dominant chart, takes all the liquidity from the lower side region, right? So look at this. Number one, XRP right now is very strong against Bitcoin, but check this out, guys. Look at this. On the USDT, that dominant chart, we're not topping out until this chart grabs all this liquidity, right? You guys realize? Okay, so the top of the cycle hasn't even happened. Just my 2 cents. And now we're starting to see the narratives that support that idea, right? So every bull market begins with that one moment when policy quietly flips from restraint to support. This could be that moment, right? Tomorrow could be it. Right after the decision, Powell comes from Powell's press conference. Tone is everything. If he acknowledges progress on inflation or growing risks to the labor market, which is weakening as we speak, there's so many cuts happening, guys. Okay, from these companies, it could signal confidence to keep cutting, which they're going to do, I think. That's when bond yields fall, the dollar softens, and liquidity starts rotating back into equities and cryptocurrencies. Then, a couple days later from today, comes in the earnings storm. Okay, so this is a huge week, guys. Microsoft, Alphabet, Meta, Apple, Amazon, all having their reports. Together, these five make up roughly 1/5 of the S&P 500. A stronger earnings report will result in a stock market and crypto market rally. Right, and then finally we have the trade deal. that could be happening, guys. So this is an insane week. Prepare for the best, right? Prepare for the worst. Tomorrow, it sparks everything, right? The dominoes to fall from the Federal Reserve tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. from Chair Powell hosts live FOMC press conference. Okay, 2:30. There it is. You guys ready? Now, President Trump still hasn't gotten his sights off Jerome Powell. Okay, the head of the system. President Trump Justin says he may announce a new Federal Reserve chair by the end of the year to replace Jerome Powell. So Trump still wants Jerome Powell out, right? He still wants Jerome Powell to go bye-bye. Okay, but I think his whole role here is two things. One of two things. Either he still has his role to bring down the entire financial system, okay, or he's truly here for the beneficial aspect of the people, right? He could be the good guy, or Trump maybe wants to put his own puppet, so he literally balloons everything throughout the stratosphere, and then the collapse happens. That could be it too, right? Which is why he wants him out so badly. So then he gets control of the Fed. Okay, but here's another side to this whole story. So there's so much quote unquote bullish events. Well, it's not guaranteed, right? For it is bullish if all the stars are aligning, okay, this week. But on the other hand, we have insiders that are selling, that are on a selling spree. Top 200 insider trades in the last week, not a singular buy. Look at this, right? From all these other companies, sell after sell after sell after sell. Like, you guys see this, guys? Right? Millions of dollars worth, by the way. Okay? If not more. So, we already know about what insider trading is, guys. One guy probably got the call, gave the information to literally everyone else in the stock market, right? And they're all selling. Not to mention Nancy Pelosi, insider trading alert. Nancy Pelosi dumps up to 250,000 of Apple shares. This is her first insider trade since June. Wait, so she just sold her Apple shares 250K worth? Wait a second. Isn't Apple earnings coming out this Thursday? Look at that. So she thinks it may come out negative. Interesting. Unless she's trying to trick everyone, so, because people have been tracking her down, right, her trades, and following what she does. So 250K is nothing to her. She could be trying to trick people into selling, but in actual reality, the news comes out as positive. So prepare for that. Then we got Jim Cramer. Nvidia, own it, don't trade it. Right? He just said to own Nvidia, guys. He's bullish on Nvidia. What does that tell you? That's literally the entire stock market, right? That's the top stock over there. If he's bullish on for the stock market here, possibly some bearish things could be on the horizon. Pack bags, gather kids, and head to the nuclear bunker. God help us all. Powell is going to tank the market tomorrow. Book market. If you are in calls, it's over. So here's some people are mentioning that, tomorrow's going to be bearish, but on the other hand, it could be bullish because of the fact that sell-off a day before FOMC is absolutely what bulls want to see, right? I'll tell you why. Because we have thought about this before. Let's go to XRP's charts, right? Remember what we said before, guys? Okay, there's a reason why I have these two charts aligned. We said that before FOMC, usually if they do dump it beforehand, they pump it after. If they were to pump it beforehand, they dump it after. Okay, and right now they're dumping it. I've noticed something very interesting happening with XRP versus Bitcoin, though, right before tomorrow occurs and the rest of the week, which is very important, right? XRP has been correlated to Bitcoin a little bit, right, due to that dump right here that just happened, but Bitcoin is falling, right? It's not stopping. XRP, on the other hand, look what it's doing. It decoupled. Look at that, right from this point right there. XRP is going higher, Bitcoin is going lower. Why is that the case? Right? Because of this. Let's go here. It's because of this chart. It's XRP versus Bitcoin. holding extremely well compared to Bitcoin here, right? It's holding up, guys. So what could this mean? Usually when XRP is strong, right, when it's decoupled, it could signal that they usually price protect XRP before a major dump happens, so XRP doesn't just fall off a cliff, right? So that could be the case, but on the other hand, it is extremely strong right now. Okay, so let us prepare for that. This is why I don't believe the top of the market has occurred, no matter what even happens. Fed rate cuts cycle and quantitative easing means this for crypto and stock markets. Everybody's gonna win, right? The liquidity, it hasn't even begun. The bull run has not even begun yet. You guys realize?
Money. You're going to get a rate cut, going to get quantitative tightening, probably stopping. You'll get another rate cut on December 10th. You'll probably get another one to start next year in January. And then you're going to get a new Fed chairman in May that's going to want even more rate cuts, right? So we've been through this.
Yep, the Fed chair from Trump, guys. When he plugs his own puppets into the Fed, that's when the golden age for everyone occurs, or at least for the people who are owning assets, right? So you want to get in before Trump brings upon his own puppet, because he's going to make everything rise and then collapse it all. It's going to be under Trump. So has it even begun? The bull run? No.
Scenario before in 2021, inflation went from 1.4% to 7%, and the S&P was up 27%. And so you're in that same exact environment where everybody's going to win, enjoy the party as long as it lasts, and then prepare for a hangover sometime late next year.
Right. I was just looking at the last.
Yep. So he believes late next year we're probably going to top out, maybe dump. For now, extremely bullish, guys. I think the bull run is just beginning. Okay. Even though people may mention how though, because everything has already went up a lot. No, it hasn't. If you guys were here in 2017, other cycles, like 2017, I remember, coins were 100 to 1,000 xing. We haven't seen nothing like that this cycle. And it will happen under Trump. Until that day, just be calm, be patient, and see what happens this week. Now, financial advice, prepare for tomorrow. What is that? So, if it's amazing, see ya.